Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to be planning extracurricular activities for the next school year. So my son is going to be in second grade for the 2025-2026 school year. And this year, I have a couple of things in mind that I want to do. So ever since we moved, now I have to look locally, what do they offer for music, and then I do have another place in mind already for possibly gymnastics, because that's something my son says he wants to go back to. So my son is enrolled in a charter school, so he does get school funds, and this is a big reason why I do, have him in a charter school, because of the funds that allow him to take these extra classes. So I'm gonna kind of just go with the funds that we'll be getting and sum up how much it will cost and how much I'll have left over, because I do want some money left over so that I can use it for like books or, learning kits, just things like that. So, yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna start with just writing down some notes of like the amount of money that we'll start with. And then I'm gonna, flip the camera around, show what's on my computer. The way it works with the charter school is they give you a list of community providers. It's just a list that they have of people that we could choose from. But of course, if you are not enrolled with a charter school, hopefully you can still find this helpful, because, it's very similar. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just I'm getting funds, I guess. But okay, let's get started. Okay, this is not gonna look fancy or anything. This is literally just gonna be like scratch paper, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start out with the price that we're gonna get. So the funds that we get is divided into two for the 2 semesters. So for this first semester, we're gonna be getting 1,700. And so that's what we start off with. And then for the second semester, it's another 1,700. But I do also want to keep in mind that the other big cost is used on curriculum. So I want to make sure that I put that into, the budget, and so that I definitely have enough for curriculum. And of course, his teacher will help me with that too and make sure that he's, good and set for that. So now with that in mind, let me see how I will divide this. So I had some thoughts. I can either put him in both of those classes. So what he wants to do is he wants to do drum lessons, and he also wants to do gymnastics. And so I need to find, I already have a place in mind for this one, but for drum lessons, I need to find one. But I have some thoughts. If it's too much to spend on both semesters, I was thinking we can maybe even just do like 1 semester of gymnastics. I really want to keep the drum lessons, because I think that will be, with the progress of learning music, I think that's just something that is important. These are just little thoughts and options that I can just, if needed, just do like a certain amount of time. I don't need to do it the whole year, and then that can help with the funds as well. And then he can still get, the gymnastics in for a little while. And yeah, I think that would work out if need be. So now I'm gonna go online and look at the prices, and then just write down how much they will be, and then, just do some calculations there. Okay, so I found this place near us, Music Lessons, and they offer different instruments, and one of them are drums. And so it's mentioning here that the lessons are $120 per month for one 30-minute lesson per week. So that's $30 per lesson. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. So I found this other website for drum lessons at a university, and this is interesting. I've never seen this before. They give like a lot of different options. This is like an undergraduate instructor. You could see the prices, increase as the instructor has more experience. So, and then also how long you want the lessons to be. I think 30 minutes is more than enough, just because my son's attention span, he's so young still. But yeah, this is another option. So I was just looking just to get an idea of, prices. If I need to go with something cheaper, this is always a good option too, to just kind of like, calculate how that would work out with everything else. So just as an example of how this might work, if I was to go with the $19 to $76 a month, so that's a pretty big difference. But I'm just gonna put that down just to compare prices and just as an option. Okay, so this is the gymnastics website. It's nice because they even give you a schedule. So that's something I can also look into ahead of time. I found this group here, the all boys freestyle. So his little group, his class would be just consisting of boys. This is how much it would cost monthly, but they also mentioned on another part of the website that for charter students, it would be $10 more. So it would be $95 monthly if you only went once a week. Okay, so I'm throwing another thing in there. So I found this place. I thought I'm gonna ask him, what he thinks of this, but it's like a rock climbing place. And for his age group, it's only $40 a month. Okay, scratch that. I just noticed on their little fine print that it's also a $65 initiation fee and then $20 a month for rental gear. So that would all have to be calculated into it. But anyways, I'm gonna set the whole rock climbing thing aside for now because that's not even something that he had mentioned he wanted to do yet. But I'm gonna just go ahead and calculate the drum lessons and gymnastics together. I'm gonna compare if I do this amount or this amount, depending on which drum lessons we go with. And then just kind of compare prices here. Okay, so these are the calculations I just made. If I was to go with this drum place and do the gymnastics for the first semester, it would come out to this amount. So if I subtract that from the school funds, I will still have $625 left. If I go with this drum place, this is how much I would have left, $845 for the first semester. I don't think that's that bad. I'm trying to think like what else I could use the money for. And I mean, I'm not going to use it on curriculum because I have everything. But on that note, there is a few changes I want to make or add to his curriculum. And I already did the I already did the calculations for that. And it was a little over 100. So I'm going to go ahead and round it off to 200. So that would still give me about $425 left. And so I would still have this much left over if I wanted to buy, other things like books or fun learning toys, things like that. So I don't know. I feel like unless I'm missing something right now, I can't think of anything else that he would really need the funds for. But I think that's great. I would still have this much left over. The thing with this is I cannot remember how much curriculum like on an average costs. So if need be, I'll just maybe take off, gymnastics, like I said, for the second semester. So that way I can have, extra for curriculum, and that's if need be. And I don't have to take gymnastics off for the whole semester. I could take off like a month or two. These are just all options. So I'm just kind of brainstorming here. Haven't made any final decisions, but I am just so glad that he can potentially take both classes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave the video here. This is just great, for me to kind of just get ahead of it and have an idea of who we wanna go with, and then just how much it may cost, and then how much we'll have left over. So, just trying to do a little bit of planning ahead for the funds and what we can use it for. But I'm really happy so far, and I'm really excited that, that he can possibly do both classes and still be, fine having some left over. So that's just an idea though. Of course, if you're not with a charter school, again, hopefully this was still helpful so that you could get an idea of how much it might cost to put your child in classes. And I know a lot of you have like multiple children, so that's another thing to consider. So yeah, this is where we're at right now, and I'm really grateful. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.